Christopher Newport put together one of the finest seasons in CAC men's basketball history last winter, capturing its first conference crown and advancing all the way to the NCAA Final Four before falling to St. Thomas in the semifinals. The Final Four appearance was the first in the 49-year history of CNU men's basketball and the first in the CAC since 2005. The two previous CAC teams to reach the Final Four were York in 2005 and Catholic in 2001. Salisbury also qualified for the NCAA tournament for the second straight year, narrowly falling to Middlebury in the opening round. Led by All-American and CAC Player of the Year Marcus Carter and guided by Division III National Coach of the Year John Krikorian, CNU enters the 2016-17 campaign with a target on its back. The road to a repeat will not be easy for the captains, as many CAC squads return a wealth of talent to the court this winter. Now let's take an inside look at all 10 CAC teams' prospects entering the year, counting down the preseason poll throughout.
Our goals this year are to make the CAC tournament, which we haven't done the last couple of years. Number two, have a winning record in the CAC, hopefully maybe even host a first-round playoff game. And number three, have an overall winning record. And of course, always you want to get better every game. We've got some great senior leadership this year with 2 seniors. We've also got 7 juniors back, and I've made the statement several times to the returning players that I was really looking forward to coaching this group of guys because I think they buy into our way of doing things. I think it's time for these juniors to step up and prove that they are quality college basketball players, and I'm looking forward to them doing that. And when you talk about the CAC, I think we have one of the 5 or 6 best Division III conferences in the country. Christopher Newport should be the odds-on favorite to win it again this year. They've got almost everybody back. I believe 4 of their top 5 players are returning. They got the Player of the Year returning. Salisbury should be very good again. York had a relatively young team, so they're going to be tough again. I can go through all the schools in the conference and talk about them. I think everybody in the league is probably going to be improved, but right now it's a CNU and Salisbury might be in the preseason a little ahead of everybody else. So it's going to be a competitive league. We're going to have to be ready to play every night. We got great coaches who prepare their teams well, who recruit and bring in quality student athletes, and you can't take a night off.
Our goals and expectations are very high this season. We're definitely looking to dramatically improve our overall record both in conference and out of conference. And this year we have the talent, the chemistry, and the responsibility to our coaching staff and each other to be able to be successful and reach the playoffs in advance. Well, first, our non-conference schedule is definitely tough. We play some quality teams at home, and it's highlighted by some of our away tournaments, which are Roanoke College and also Virginia Wesleyan, which are both tough. And the CACs, of course, everyone in the league is tough. They're all good. CNU made the Final Four last year, and Salisbury made the tournament, NCAA tournament as well. So every night we're going to play our best because we're playing quality teams. Some of my favorite parts about being a student athlete here at Frostburg State, not only playing the game we love, but also being able to focus on our education as well. And also, we make memories and friendships and relationships that we'll be able to last forever and be able to communicate with each other after this game is over.
Well, our goals, first off, we'd like to return to the CAC tournament again, and this time we'd like to take that next step. And so we have a really new team. It's going to be difficult, but I really like the team that we have. Key returners, Justin Langford, who started for us last year as a senior. Also, Cale Thornton and Aaron Rumbaugh. Aaron started some last year. Those are probably the key returners this year. We have a lot of nice players. We got some that have just come off church missions. Michael Price, who started here before his mission, and Brandon Caputo. Also Tyler McCready and Brandon Hill and Alec Johnson. And Rashay Douglas is looking good right now, as well as Damon Thacker and Chris Richardson in the guard spots. That are 18-year-old freshmen. Tough schedule. We start off with 3 D1s. We're going out to play Idaho State and Utah State, and then VMI back here. And then we go up to New York City to play in a tournament at Rutgers Newark, who was top 25 team last year. And Tufts is up there. I think they ranked about number 10 last year. And then our league schedule starts out really tough. The first 4 teams we play are teams that are perennial tournament teams. We start off with CNU, who's undefeated in the conference last year, of course. And then we have Salisbury, Wesley, and Marymount, all before Christmas. So whoever made the schedule didn't do us any favors. I think to have a successful season, first off, we've got to take care of the ball. We got a lot of kind of new players coming in. They've got to learn each other. We've got to play really hard defense and make that kind of our mantra, I think. And then finally, I think we've got to have fun. You know, we got to put smiles on our face, have fun, and be positive.
Goals, especially for this season, is to make it back to the CAC tournament. We kind of snuck our way in last year, but we want to get back in there because basketball tournaments, anything can happen. So make it to the tournament and make a run as far as we can. The off season was a big part of preparation, just trying to stay healthy and get as many shots up as you can before you get back to the gym for practices. I'm just looking forward to just spending time with the guys on the team. We have a really good group of young men that are excited to play, come from all sorts of different backgrounds and different times of in their life, and it'll be fun just to spend time with them and to do the best we can to represent the school. I try to be a leader by example, not as athletic as I used to be, but just trying to teach them the things that I've learned over the years playing for Coach Caputo. The system works that he runs, and just got to buy in, and hopefully we can do what we can. My favorite part about being an athlete at Southern Virginia specifically is having the opportunity to represent a smaller school. A lot of the schools are well established, they're large, they have years of athletic history. Southern Virginia is pretty new, within the last 20 years of getting the athletic program going, and so having the opportunity to represent the school and really kind of put our names on the map is a good thing.
Our goals for the year, I think, are the same as they are every year, you know, regardless of who we have coming back. We want to prepare with our non-conference schedule, which I think is pretty competitive. So, and we're looking forward to our 2 upcoming scrimmages. I think they're going to be good for us. And I think that our non-conference schedule will prepare us for the league. And, you know, once we get in the league play, we want to defend the home court, try and steal a couple on the road, get in the conference tournament, and give ourselves a chance to win the league championship. I think that the league is going to be really competitive as usual. I was happy to see that the D3 Hoops recognize this as one of the most competitive leagues in the country. I think that's a pretty accurate ranking. And I think that the coaching in our league is very good. I think that everybody has talent. And I think, you know, CNU could land up being the preseason #1. So I think that you know, bodes well for the league, not just for CNU. But oddly enough, I don't know if CNU is a clear favorite. You know, Salisbury is very good. They have Wyatt Smith coming back, who is as good as anybody in the league. I think that'll change the way they play, but I think they're going to be very good again. I think after that, it's wide open, but I do think there's some teams that have some. They've crossed the experience threshold. York, Mary Washington, Penn State Harrisburg, and St. Mary's all have younger guys. They have a mix, but they have younger guys who are now at the point where they have experience, they're talented. Several teams had some bigger losses than others, Southern Virginia, Frostburg, Wesley, and ourselves, but they have, again, some younger guys that have experience and will be the main cogs.
So far early in the season, the outlook is very optimistic. We have a lot of young guys who are ready to get after it, who are putting it all on the line in practice, which is something we haven't seen before. It's a very optimistic outlook for this season, which is a lot better because we didn't end that great last season, or at least how we wanted to. We've got high hopes. We think a lot of these young guys can really play based on what we've seen in practice, the preseason. They get after it in the weight room. You know, they're just doing everything right academically, and it really gives us a lot of hope for this year. As one of the 2 seniors on the team currently, I think of myself as a role model to these young guys. I think I need to set the example for what needs to be done. Although, like I stated, these guys don't really need an example. They know what to do. But, you know, I think of myself as kind of a second coach to them. talking them through things. I hope they feel like they can come ask me questions anytime they need to. Just an overall role model, along with Pat Dumais, our other senior on the team.
Expectations is I expect us to fully compete year in and year out in tough CAC. There's no reason why we can't with the talent that we have assembled. Last year, I think over the course of the last 12 games, we showed that we were right there in the thick of it, and where we finished and how we played Mary Wash in the conference quarterfinals. I think everybody would agree that we got things righted at the right time, and we just ran out of games to play and time in that game against Mary Wash. In terms of returners, we have Rasan Brinkley returning, who down the stretch played very well for us. J.W. Lawson, who was a spark plug for us off the bench, leading scorer, coming in and brings a lot of energy. Jordan Johnson, who, with the influx, if you will, of bigs that we have, he's going to be on the perimeter some more this year. And what he is he's able to stretch the floor for us in terms of the bigs. Coming back also, we have Evan Anderson, who had a heck of a freshman campaign for us. Down the stretch as well, he was tough to guard, and a lot of guys would key on him. He did a great job in the offseason of getting better with the things that we asked him to do. Chris Scott comes back. He was hurt part of the year, had a tough spring in terms of tearing his ACL, but rehabbed. He's getting back on track, and he's a very good leader. George Cook and Tyrone Craven, who kind of platooned as the point guards that second half of the year, they're back, and they've worked on their games and improved a little bit in what we've asked them to do. So the returning nucleus, and we get Evan Zimmerman back, who was hurt all last year as well. He's very athletic. But then in terms of newcomers, we're very excited. We brought in 4 freshman newcomers and a transfer junior out of Kansas.
Our goal is definitely to win a championship. Last year we lost a tough one to Mary Washington, so we're really coming out with revenge this year. And we're just preparing ourselves for the upcoming season, getting in the gym every day, in the weight room as well. So that's mainly our goal, to win a championship, get our chemistry together, and have a good season. Personally, I've been in the gym in the summer almost every day. Me and my father, who's also assistant coach here, we were in the gym on the shooting machine every single day, after work, before work. And I know other guys on the team, I know they've been getting in the gym at their local gyms, and really just everybody's been shooting, practicing their handle, and once we all get together, the chemistry is going to be down. We'll be able to have success. The best part about being a student athlete is definitely just always being active. There's always something to do. It's either I'm in the gym, I'm talking to coach in his office, or watching film, I'm doing schoolwork. I'm just always active. So that's probably the best part about it. Seeing the guys every day, that's a great thing to have. Also, seeing them in the gym every day while some of us are in class, and seeing them getting some work done on the court, that's a good feeling, because they want it as much as you do.
Our goals for this year is to continue to get better every day, build our culture, excellence in the classroom and excellence on the basketball floor, and we'd like to be able to be part of the CAC playoff mix when it comes around the end of February, that we're a team that's getting hot at the right time and a team that's relevant. Our key returners, it starts for us with Jazz Harris. Jazz has been just terrific academically. He's been terrific, with his preparation and his leadership and his toughness, and I feel we go as he goes. In addition to Jazz, who's one of our captains, Khalil Williams is a sophomore, which that's a lot to throw on a young guy and an underclassman, but Khalil certainly earned that respect of mine and my staff and his teammates last year. Bola Aliyu is a frontline player for us that we're expecting to contribute more this year on the offensive end, along with Pat Mulville, who comes into play for us. New additions, I really like the job our staff did. We were able to attract some guys here that we think will add depth and help solidify some positions we needed. Last year, one of our main issues was, speed in our perimeter in the backcourt outside of Harris. Foot speed wise, we may not have been up to par in the rest of the league, and I think we addressed that with Lamar Thomas comes in as a point guard, freshman from Atlantic City. Khalil White from Cheltenham, Philadelphia area comes in with that. Austin Christ from West Branch out in their state college. And also Derek Coleman comes into play with that way. And then our front line, we're pretty excited about a young man, Dante Brown, who's been a pleasant surprise in camp. You know, what Christopher Newport was able to accomplish last year, hey, it just brings credibility to our whole league and lifts everybody up to a national level. You know, for us at Penn State to be affiliated with such a great league and then to combine our Penn State diploma, you know, we're taking this and running with it. You know, after Christopher Newport, you look at St. Mary's, you look at Mary Washington, you look at Salisbury. I mean, terrific coaches, established programs. You know, we're all trying to catch up and meet up with those guys.
Goals for this year, playing in the CAC, is to finish on top of conference and to make the playoffs, and to just make a statement and let teams know that Penn State Harrisburg will be one of the top teams in the conference. The joy of putting the uniform on brings out just everything I've dealt with in life, as far as just being from Baltimore City, just dealing with the ups and downs with losing both parents and everything. So to be this far at Penn State Harrisburg, to make it this far to be at Penn State Harrisburg and to wear that jersey just brings joy, because I could be in just a whole different situation. So just putting that jersey on and realizing that I'm here and able to play basketball at Penn State Harrisburg, that's the joy that comes out. I'm looking forward to just playing all the teams in our conference, because of the conference that we're in. We have Christopher Newport, who's one of the top teams in the country, Salisbury, who made the tournament last year. So I'm just looking forward to just playing all the teams in the CAC.
That we strive to get better every single day. You know, we focus on the process of getting better from drill to drill, practice to practice, and that builds on itself as the season unfolds here over the next several months.
I think as a team, we're gonna be a good team. We have a lot of talent. We just have to make sure that we progress and stay on the process.
Yeah, well, obviously Dalton Myers is returning. He was first team all-league player, one of the best players in the league last year, and you know, I think expectations for him individually certainly are high. And then you have Matt Scamuffo, who had a very good sophomore campaign and is entering his junior year with equally high expectations. And then you have a group of guys who have all contributed in some way or another, whether it be Blade Reich or Zach Galick, Brad Wesner. Those guys have all had the opportunity to perform on the floor, and you know, we're looking for those roles to continue to grow.
The addition of the 6 new freshmen, that helps a lot. They're all talented, and then we've all worked out. Pickup's gone really well. The program for working out has been outstanding. We all work out together right now, and we're getting stronger. Conditioning has gone well, so I think all that combined has really created a better environment and team for us. We should be good.
The core teams that never really change. You know, Gettysburg and Messiah are very strong. Stevenson, again, another very strong program. We certainly have challenged ourselves. You know, we get to go to Franklin and Marshall's tournament at the start of this season, and all 3 teams there were NCAA tournament teams last year. And then we go down to Randolph-Macon, who obviously plays in the ODAC, and Johns Hopkins will be there, and FDU from New Jersey. So it's a really strong pool of teams. But that's what you have to do to prepare to play in the CAC, which is the best league in the country.
I mean, just playing against the CAC teams, that's a really good conference, and I love playing against them. It's always good competition, and the outcome, hopefully wins, is going to be that much better.
I don't think that all the cliches about juniors and seniors and all that stuff can be understated at all. You know, we went through a year where we had no seniors, and then we went through a year where we had 1, and it is a dramatic difference, and you see it in practice. You know, those guys understand drills and what the level from a competitive and energy output what it takes on a daily basis. And then, when we get to games, they know players, they know scouting reports, they know how to handle that. They know how to get back at 2 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday and go to class on Thursday, and kind of all the stuff that goes along with it. And that leadership from that upperclassmen core of 6 guys will be really important.
Based on what I've seen so far, I think the guys did a great job preparing. They came in shape, and we were able to get right into working on our team drills and so forth. So I was relatively pleased with what they did, and I think it definitely has prepared us up to this point, to start the season off well. Looking forward to the season, we have a very young team. We don't have any seniors on the team this year. And we have a lot of newcomers. We probably only have 1 returning starter from last year, and then we have 2 other guys that played, I'd say, significant minutes. So with only 3 real contributors back, and then added to the newcomers that have come in, it's a really new team, a lot of new faces, and I think that being said, chemistry will be a huge issue. We've been working a lot on that, and as they gel, I think we'll see success. But we're just taking it one day at a time. We've been working hard up to this point, figuring out who's who and who plays well with with each other. And I think that looking towards the outlook, we're just treating it like you would treat a young team. Be patient and take it day to day and not worry about what's going to happen down the road. But I do feel if we stay healthy, we're going to have a really competitive team to take on the CAC, which I think is probably the conference is probably the best I've ever seen it in all my years here as far as talent. There's a number of programs that will be competitive nationally, so we've got our work cut out for us taking those teams on. And those teams would include Christopher Newport, Salisbury, Mary Washington, to name a few.
Goals this year for St. Mary's basketball is to win a championship and make it to the NCAA tournament. Definitely improve on our record from last year. We expect to go 25-0 plus the playoff games. Off season's been really intense training. We had a guy, Joe, come in train us all preseason. We've been running. Coach has been pushing us for conditioning and practice. It's been really good. Looking forward to playing with a great group of guys, winning, and running our conference. We have a few really good out-of-conference games. I know New Jersey City and Baldwin-Wallace are 2 really good teams. And our conference is going to be pretty tough with CNU, Salisbury, Mary Washington, are really great teams. So we're looking forward to playing them and giving our best.
Our goals and expectations are the same as every year, get better each day, quickly get our team to gel. Obviously in the long run, we'd like to get into the CAC finals, make that breakthrough to the semifinals we keep running into. The last 2 seasons, keep coming up a little short in the semifinal game, so the goal of ours is to get in that championship game and see what happens. Our key newcomers are probably Jamal Newton and Alex Brayboy. Alex being a transfer, Jamal a freshman from Henrico, expecting both those guys to contribute immediately to us. Key losses, we only graduated 1 guy from last year, so it's really nice that we have a good nucleus returning as a team. And I think we're expecting big things from our returners like Mark Madison and Eric Shaw. Our schedule in conference play obviously is tough every night. That's one thing I really love about the CAC is you can't take a night off. If you do, you're going to get beat. That's been proven by just about everybody. So it's a good challenging schedule for us in the conference. Non-conference, I think we've done the same thing, where we'll play Randolph, Macon, Virginia Wesleyan. We open up with Eastern Mennonite, which will be good. So we have a good variety of the ODAC schools, and with an opportunity also to potentially play Arcadia or Dickinson at our tip-off tournament.
Really just to win as many games as possible and to get better each day that we, have the opportunity to step into the gym. Pretty much just being a part of a student body that, feels more like a family atmosphere. I don't feel like there's any forms of segregation or anything like that. We all get along with each other. we all support each other, and I feel like we're just one big family with one goal. More than anything, I think just because of the years past, I've been able to focus more on what I need to do and what not to do during the season, as far as just remaining consistent, continuously to work hard, smart, and just being effective and just doing whatever I have to do to be able to lead my guys and be ready to move forward and reach our goals. To winning, that's usually the best feeling. Also, experiencing just the new group of guys that we have now and seeing where we measure up to the teams in the past and also what we can do this year. I believe that, we definitely have a brand new group, and so it's going to be interesting just to see where we end up and how we do the season to come. I think that it's pretty much the same. I feel like that it's definitely somewhat competitive, but I think that our schedule is we have the right amount of teams and the right amount of competition to prepare us for the championships and stuff to come later on, and hopefully to prepare us to when it comes towards the end of the season, we'll be ready to compete at the highest level and be ready to make some noise this year.
The goals are like it is every year. We want to make the NCAA tournament. We want to try to win the regular season and conference championship and advance in the NCAA tournament. So that's the goal every year here. We lost 6 seniors. Rocky Harris, Adrian Strawn, Kyle Savercool, Justin May. It's a lot. Bobby Bates played well for us at the end of the year, Jacoy Gillum. So we got a lot to replace. We got Gordon Jeter back. We got Justin Whitmer back, Jack Ferguson and Chase Coomer, and obviously Wise Smith returning off injury. We got a good mix of transfers and freshmen. We got a lot of height coming in this year with Nick Giddings and Jay Precatulis. Lucas Martin from Virginia is going to be very good for us. Teray Quickly has had a very good preseason for us from Dundalk Community College at Poly, and Barry Bratton from Delmar. We try to schedule the toughest teams we can possibly play. So, our preseason this year is going to be very good with our conference tournament here with Cabrini and Staten Island and Johns Hopkins. We have Goucher and Washington College back on the schedule this year. We go to Virginia Wesleyan, and then we go out to Las Vegas for the D3 Hoops thing with Ramapo and Hardin Simmons. Great conference. I mean, there's not an easy game on the schedule, and hopefully we're battle tested when we start against St. Mary's in November.
Our goals and expectations for the upcoming season are to win the conference championship and make our way to the national tournament and hopefully win a national championship as well. Some of my favorite parts about being a student athlete here at Salisbury are the family atmosphere. Pretty much everybody, from the students to the teachers to the your teammates and even other athletes, everybody really comes together and supports each other. The off-season has helped to prepare me coming up into this season in various ways. Coming off of an injury, I had a lot of time to do different rehab and work on different parts of my game that I never worked on before as much, and really just find myself from an off-the-court standpoint. What I'm looking forward to in this coming season is the game atmosphere. I really like when the lights come on, when everybody shows up, when you put the jersey on, you lace up, and it's just time to go.
We have 3 terrific all-league players coming back in Marcus Carter, Tim Daly, and Aaron McFarland. Those guys have proven night in and night out that they can get it done. We also have 2 senior guards that, in my mind, are all-league type players in their own way. They might not score quite as many points as those guys, but they've started and been dependable as much as anybody in our program over the last 3 years, and that's Kevin Regenball and Rayshard Brown. We have 11 returning players, which we're really excited about overall. You throw in 6 young boys, and we're going to have quite a ride. I'm quite certain we'll have a target on our back in the Capitol this year, and we won the league last year, I think, beating St. Mary's by a point, and then Salisbury in overtime. So, this is a very competitive league, especially at the top. And I expect the Salisburys, the St. Mary's, the Mary Washingtons, the Marymounts, Southern Virginia got into the playoffs last year and did a terrific job. York has got all 5 starters back from what we can gather. Frostburg State, is always going to be a challenge. Wesley, you know, they're only a year or two removed from a run to the NCAA tournament. And so this thing's going to be wild again, I'm sure. And, you know, I don't want to leave out Penn State Harrisburg, who was in first place to start the conference play last year, and they got a lot of guys back. This is an exciting year for us. 50 years of basketball at Christopher Newport, 4 coaches, 20 NCAA tournaments. And most of the players and coaches, you know, are still local. They still live in or around Virginia. And so we're excited to showcase this season. We're going to have a huge banquet to kick off the year to celebrate 50 years of basketball. I'm hopeful that all of these alumni that played over the last 50 years will come back and support us this season. It makes such a huge difference when you play for a program that has the kind of tradition that we do here at Christopher Newport.
We have many things that we want to accomplish. We don't really have a tangible goal, but we have a couple standards that we think if we do those, then we will be right where we want to be. If we pursue excellence, if we grow our relationships with one another and have personal and team growth, then we think that everything will take care of itself and we will be successful. I'd say individually, as a senior, I think it's kind of my responsibility to lead. Obviously, I've been here for a while. I have playing experience, and I really want to help these younger guys, help them learn, and set the foundation for when I'm not here and for when these other seniors move on. And statistically, that really isn't all that important to me, but I just want to win. I want to go out on a high note. Being a student athlete at CNU is great. The camaraderie that we have with especially other student athletes and the student body is it's really awesome. Everyone supports each other. We're all at everyone else's games. They definitely come to ours, and it's just a great relationship to have, knowing that they support you fully. Yes, so heading up to Baltimore is definitely something that we're all looking forward to. It's one of the biggest tournaments in Division III. We really can't wait. Obviously, we try and test ourselves against the best non-conference teams in the nation, and we think that by playing them, it's going to prepare us well for later on in the season when we're playing different teams and getting different looks from teams around the country. CAC is always tough. It's always night in and night out. You're going against a different style of teams, bigger teams, smaller teams, faster teams that really are going to give you different looks and really going to make you play different styles of basketball. And that, I think, is one of the CAC's biggest strengths, in that it's going to help us and later on in March when we need it the most.